Howdy. Oh, that was a lot louder than I thought it was going to be. Well, as Ronnie said, my name is John Merle. I was born and raised in Cebu City, Philippines. I'm a third-generation missionary. My grandfather, Ken Wilkie, went in 1960 to the Philippines. Actually, he went before that. He was in the Navy for a while. He was stationed in, I think it was Subic. Anyway, after his service, he went back to the Philippines as a missionary and worked over there mostly in the northern part of the Philippines. My mother, she was born in the U.S., but they moved back to the Philippines when she was really, really young. I think they came, she was 3 months old when they moved to the Philippines. They came back to the States when she was about 13. Met my dad at 19, got married, went back to the Philippines, and had me at 22. So that was 40-something years ago for me. But the work in the Philippines has been a very big blessing for me. God has blessed me with a wonderful family. This is my crew. My wife, Gina, and I have been married for 17 years now. It doesn't seem that long ago, but time goes by really fast. You know, God's blessed us with 3 wonderful kids. They're wonderful most of the time. Yeah. You know, sometimes they're hard-headed, but that's pretty typical. I was the same way, I'm sure. My son is 15 years old now. I have a daughter who's 12. And then another son who is 7. And it's been an interesting experience. Being a parent is something that is very challenging, but at the same time has helped me in my faith, in my walk. Because it's interesting to look at how similar being a Christian, the relationship between me and God is to me and my kids. You know, God being the parent and me being the child. We do things that the parents don't like sometimes. We're hard-headed. And it's helped me learn a lot about my faith and being a Christian. The place that we work in is located in Southeast Asia. It's if you look at the picture up here, that gray area to the north, that's China. And if you go a little bit further south, that's Australia. So we're kind of over on that side of the world. It's about 9,000 miles away, give or take, from where we're at right here. So it's literally on the other side of the earth. It's about as far away as you can get from here, and then you start coming back. The place that the Philippines itself is usually divided into 3 parts. We have the northern, the middle, and the southern part. We work in the central part of the Philippines, but you can see that if this is actual size. I went onto a website and got the size of the Philippines, but you'll notice that the Philippines is mostly an island nation. We've got 7,600 plus individual islands. Only about 2,000 of those are inhabited. But if you take all of the land mass and you scrunch it up into one land mass, it's about 1/3 the size of Texas. So we just got a lot of water in between. So yeah. The population density, if you can imagine Lubbock, Texas, the area of Lubbock, Texas, but with 2.5 million people in it, that's us. That's the Philippines. If you can take the entire population of the United States and put them all into Texas, this includes Alaska and Hawaii, you put everybody into the state of Texas, that's how densely populated the Philippines is. The city that we work in is, we work on the island right here in the middle, right smack in the middle of the Philippines. I think it's the 2nd or 3rd largest city in the Philippines. There are about 5.2 million people on the island that we work on, and about half of those people live in the city. So we have a lot of people nearby. It says there, you got a very interesting history. Last time I was here, I talked about Magellan. Ferdinand Magellan, he went around, circumnavigated the world. Well, he died there in the Philippines. In fact, he died on Cebu Island, or Mactan Island, right off of the coast of Cebu. He never made it. But, yeah, look it up. It's pretty interesting history. So this is a picture of the central part of the city. This is what it looks like at night, but like I said, it's a lot of people. The work that we are involved in there are several things that we're involved in. Our main work is what we call the Bible Study Center. In the early years of the work, the missionaries, my parents, and those who were working with them, did a bunch of house-to-house work. They would go from house to house, hand out tracts and things like this. They had found that they would have to visit a lot of places in order for them to even get one person to consider studying the Bible. One of the things they decided to try was, well, let's set up a place, invite a bunch of people, and see who shows up. Well, this turned out to have a lot of good results. So they handed out tracts throughout the city, and eventually they had, I think the first session of classes they had was over 120 people show up. And that was great. Imagine how many houses you would have to go and visit to get that number of people to show up for class. And from there, the work evolved. They began to create classes that were tailored to the mindset of the people. If you look at the Philippines, about 80% of the population is Roman Catholic. This was a result from the Spaniards coming over to the Philippines to convert the people. But the way they converted them was either you convert to Christianity or die. And that was several hundred years ago. Spaniards were in charge for about 400 years. And so a lot of the culture of the Philippines is very similar to what you would find in Mexico. We have the peso, but it's a different kind of peso. But yeah, the mindset is very matriarchal, which is kind of interesting. Anyway, the Bible Study Center has been in operation since 1984. I was 2 years old, and Dad and all of the other guys, the mothers, the wives basically said, you guys need to stop working at home. Do your 9 to 5, come home and be home. And so they ended up renting a place and set up the Bible Study Center. And ever since, we've had classes during the evenings. Mostly, we have classes during the day, but most of the time we have classes during the evenings. So when people are done with school, done with work, on their way home, they stop by for an hour or two, and we have classes that we offer. These are not the only classes that we have. We have a wide array of different courses that we offer that focus in on the Gospels, history, the background of different locations, archaeology, and how archaeology helps to confirm the things that we see in the Bible. Things about, how did we get the Bible? Where did it come from? I mean, we talk about language. Originally, it was in Hebrew and Greek. Well, how did it get to English? How did it get to the other languages? So it's a lot of different topics that we offer when it comes to the classes that we offer. And it's all one hour every day, once a week, twice a week, sometimes. Depends on the course that they take. And it's all free of charge. All they have to do is show up. Our facility is located. That picture is better than that one. It looks really small up there. But as you can see, this is the Metro Cebu area. As I said, there are about 2.5 million people living in this area. And we're not really central, but there's a lot less people towards the north than there are in this area. So we're kind of in the middle of everything. But our facility has been open since the 80s. We've had to move locations a couple of times, but it's been good. The only thing is COVID kind of messed some stuff up, so we've had to adapt. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. So we offer classes each night. We have a schedule, usually during the weekdays, Mondays through Fridays, where the people will come in, study for an hour. Some of the courses that we offer are once a week, some are twice a week. And it's all, like I said, all a different array of different topics that we offer. We have some of the classes are slideshow, some are video, and some are just, discussion, where we have the material that we offer. They read the material, we answer questions, and we go through a series of courses. We hold seminars quite often. Seminars can be, like this particular seminar is my grandfather, Ken Wilkie, and he came over once. He did a seminar on 2 Thessalonians. Right? This is me doing Philippians, and so we talk about different things. And sometimes we talk about specific topics that are kind of controversial when it comes to the Catholic faith. And it gets people to come in because they're like, well, what do these people have to say about that particular thing? And we've gotten quite a few people who because of these seminars, have studied with us. Another thing that we're involved in is up in the mountains, right about here. When I take my wife to the location, because it's hard to get up there. It takes me about 5 to 10 minutes to drive to the base of the mountain, and the car won't make it up to the top. She has to get on a motorcycle and ride the motorcycle all the way up. It takes about 15, 20 minutes depending on the weather. And she does a lot of things up there with the kids. One of the programs that we do during the week is we deal with education, basic education, reading, writing, basic arithmetic, things like this, because a lot of these kids, maybe they don't have access to schools, or they can't come down to where the schools are, and so we teach them, the basics, reading, writing, English, arithmetic, things like this. And so you can see Gina's holding one of the babies, because a lot of times the older kids will be left with the young ones while the parents go work. And so it's very difficult up there in the mountains. So these kids, we've been doing this how long has this been? It's like 3 years almost? 2 years. 2 years. Last 2 years we've been working with this program, and we've had a lot of progress. While the classes with the kids are going on, my brother-in-law is having classes with the parents and the different people in the neighborhood, and so there's a bunch of things going on with there as well. Here's pictures of them with their different activities that they're doing. We have the young ones, we have the kind of teens going up from there. We also hold Vacation Bible School once a year. And this is, you can see there's, I think, 130 kids up there at this. There's another picture of that. We also hold Vacation Bible Schools in other places as well, further south of where we're at. This is in Jopper, which is like the next barangay south. So we've got all sorts of different things that were going on with the kids. We have different members of the team who are working with these different projects throughout Cebu. One of the things that we started recently was the teens and up. We have a youth group activity that we do with them. We teach them things like cooking, and we study the Bible with them. This is a picture of them learning, cooking, just prepping for meals and things. One of the things that we have up there as well is a feeding program. I'll talk about it in a little bit, but this is them helping with that. We've got them learning the different books of the Bible, and just kind of introducing them to the Bible, the stories in the Bible, and things like that. Aside from the weekday stuff that they're doing, on the weekends we have Bible class with the kids, teaching them stories like David and Goliath, and different things that we have in our Sunday school activities. But yeah, on occasions we'll take the youth group down the mountain. They don't get to go down the mountain very often, so they don't get to see the city. This is a picture of them in the mall for the first time, and they're they have the wide eyes and things like this because they've never experienced anything like that before. We took them to the ocean. They've been up in the mountains most of the time. Take them to the ocean, have a picnic lunch, and it's been really good. It's been really good. The idea here is we're trying to build relationships with these people up there in the mountains. We've found that if you focus on the relationship first, the rest of it comes later. Relationships are important, and that's the goal that we have. I know in the past, during my grandfather's era, it was you try to get them in the water as quickly as possible, and that worked for that time period to an extent. But what we've found is if you build the relationships first, the faith that they have is much stronger. We started with them young. We have the parents. We try to help these people out, try to see what kind of things they need, and it's been really good. We've had a lot of success with this. So we get them to do stuff together. We get them to do stuff with the people that we have up there, and you can see their faces, smiling faces and stuff. Life up there is very difficult for them. A lot of the fathers are not around because either they're working. Some of them have to go to the cities or even other parts of the Philippines just to get work. Most of those guys work with construction, so when there's a project, they have job. But when there's no projects, they have no job. And when they have no job, they'll either spend whatever money they have on alcohol or drugs or things like this, and it's not a very good situation for them. And so this is an opportunity for them to have some sort of, a good happiness at some point in their life. And this has been a very good thing for them. One of the things that we also do is a lot of these kids are not very healthy. So every once in a while we'll have a feeding program where we'll go up there, we'll cook stuff while up there. The ladies that are there who are members of the church now will help and assist with this. We'll provide food for the kids that are up there, and it's been really interesting. You can see them all. The guy in the middle right there, she said there was a laser. This guy right here, that's my brother-in-law. He's married to my youngest sister, Amy. And he was the one that started all of this up there. He would go up on his mountain bike, and he would go all the way up to the top of this mountain, and this is the community that was up there. And he would stay up there, and he would talk to the people. He made a relationship with these people. And then he started studying with these people. And there was one particular guy, Tatay Maning, it was his name. Tatay is like father, as a term of respect. Tatay Maning, I talked about him last time we were here. He was the first Christian that was up there. And because of him, his wife became a Christian, his daughter-in-law became a Christian, and the community began to grow. The church up there is growing. We have, I think it was close to 7 or 8 people now who've been baptized, who meet on a regular basis up there. And I got some pictures of that here in a little bit. But this is all because of building relationships. We start off, getting in the door, talk to the people, get to know the people, learn the situation of the people, and just be kind, be friendly, be concerned, show care for their situation. And that's what's developed. This is what's developed because of it. During one of the storms not too long ago, it ruined a lot of the stuff up there. The facility that we had a bamboo fence around the area to kind of keep the kids from falling off the mountain, literally, because there's a mountainside right there. And so we worked on building a fence, and the kids got involved. They're like, we want to help. So this is a picture of them. You got one with a shovel, a couple with bags, and they're bringing the dirt to the site so that they can mix it to make cement to form the bottom section of the fence so it doesn't fall over anymore. So we put a chain link fence up there to cordon off the area, so to speak, and all of them wanted to help. They got involved. We kind of put one of these little things. All the people that were involved in that got to put their hands on the wall. We made this little thing, and you saw it a while ago there on that picture. And it's been really good. The kids always look forward to the classes and the time that they spend at the location up there. As I said, while the kids are doing their thing, my brother-in-law Gab, he's off in the different houses. He'll go from the house to house. They have different groups where they meet together. People will come to a particular person's house for the week, and they'll meet and they'll have Bible classes. And they teach the same stuff that we teach at the Bible Study Center. They go through that material, and it's been great. We've had several baptisms. I'll show you a couple of pictures of that here in a little bit. But it's been good. We've had a lot of progress with these people, and you notice it's just right outside. They don't come to class. We go to them and have classes with them. The church, like I said, is still kind of small. Half of these people in this picture are actually from the congregation that we work with down in the city itself. But they go and help out with all the different things all the different projects that we're working on, different classes that we have. So we got a good group of people that are involved in a lot of the things that we're doing. But you can see, this is what a Sunday would look like. Not very many people, but you have Gab's there. He's given a lesson. Everybody's sitting around. There's the communion stuff right there as well. And so it's just, like I said, it's a small group, but it's slowly growing. But you'll notice that majority of the members are women, because, like I said, the fathers are usually not around. They're doing whatever, working and things like that. We've had several baptisms over the last couple of years. For the Bible Study Center, this lady right here is my brother-in-law's aunt. This is Bing. She's so my brother-in-law Gab, he's the one right there. His aunt became a Christian recently, and that also means that his cousin and his other cousin, so Diza and Jean, both also became Christians because of the relationships that they have built with us, because they've been invited to come to church. They come to church, and we just be good people to them. We treat them like people, And so they eventually decided to start studying. They studied with him and eventually became Christians. This lady is interesting because the gentleman that's on the end holding her feet, that's her husband, right? Her husband became a Christian because his, how do I do this? My sister Sarah is married to his brother, right? So before she became a Christian, he became a Christian first. Before she became a Christian, they were dating. And because of the type of people that we were and the type of influence that we had on her, she started studying, became a Christian, and this is him involved in her baptism because he studied with her as well. This lady is a result of one of our seminars. This is Solane. She became a Christian as a result of coming to a seminar. It was one of those controversial seminars, and she was like curious about it. She started studying. She realized some things. She started studying with us, and ended up becoming a Christian because of that. This is Ethel. She was a result of correspondence course, where she would take classes through the mail or online, because we have that part of our stuff as well. This is Joey. He was a result of the seminars. So we've had quite a lot of good results because of just being the type of people we are supposed to be. Now this is up in the mountains. This is Lucille, the one standing on the little bucket there. You'll notice our baptistry. This is a 55-gallon drum. So they get inside of that and just kind of duck down, and water goes everywhere, but that's not what's important. What's important is the decision that they made. Lucille is the daughter-in-law? Yeah, daughter-in-law of Tatay Maning. And like I said last time, he was one of the first Christians. This is also Emma. She was also a daughter-in-law as well. And so, like I said, the church in the mountains is growing. And it's all because of relationships. All because of relationships, doing the things that God wants us to do, being salt, being light, and just looking for opportunities to reach out to the people around us. Now, I talked about our plans going forward. We're going to be continuing working with the Bible Study Center. We're going to continue working with the mountains situation because that's bearing a lot of fruit, a lot of good fruit. But one of the things that we're going to be doing from this point going forward is, while evangelism is important, one of the things that we found to be lacking in the church in general is discipleship, focusing inward. A lot of our people, a lot of the members of the church in the Philippines are lacking a lot of foundation stuff. Like, people will go in and they will plant churches, but there's no follow-up. There's very little follow-up. And so they have to pretty much figure things out on their own. And so one of the things that we're going to be working heavily with is my grandfather, Ken Wilkie, and I'll have a picture of him in a little bit. If you guys know him, you know that he's been working in the Philippines since 1960. He goes all over the Philippines and works with different congregations, kind of like Paul did when Paul goes to these different places, because he's involved in the lives of these people, checking up on them, seeing how they're doing, things like that. My grandfather's getting older, and he's not going to be around much longer. I don't know how long, but he's 92, and he still goes back and forth between here and the Philippines. He used to do 2 months on, 2 months off, but since my grandmother passed away last April, it's been a little difficult. But he'll be going back to the Philippines, I think in 2 weeks, 2 or 3 weeks from now. When he does, my dad and him are going to go to these different congregations that he's involved with, and we're going to kind of pick up the mantle, so to speak. As I say, he's getting older. His health is slowly going. His knees are bugging him all the time now. And so it's very difficult for him to get around, and going back and forth is going to be very difficult for him going forward. So since we are located centrally within the Philippines, we are in a good position to reach out to these different places, to the north, to the south, east, west, all these places. One of the places that we've been working on is there's a church on the other side of Cebu. It takes, I know it says 2 hours and 1 minute, but that's not true. That says without traffic, but there is always traffic. It takes over 3 hours to get there on a good day, right? So we have to travel and there and back. But this congregation, there's a young man there, he's a little younger than me, but he's been working up there by himself with his wife. Well, by himself, with his wife. They've been working up there for a few years. They've established a congregation over there, but they're in sorely need of help, like manual help with the different projects that they have going on. He's kind of stretched himself a little too thin with all the things that are going on. So one of the things that we wanted to do was to get the members involved. But none of the members are doing anything because they don't know what to do. They don't know how easy evangelism can be. And so we have, at the Bible Study Center, we have two sets of classes. We have classes for people who are not Christians and classes for people who are. And those classes are kind of tailored to get them involved. And it's worked very well with the congregations that we're working with directly. So we're going to take what we've got and work with other congregations as well to kind of fill in the foundation aspects and get everybody going. Because, one of the things that you have to understand is when you stand in the water and you make that commitment, we have a job to do. We have a job to evangelize. We have a job to be salt and be light. And I'll talk a little bit about that in our lesson for today. But, so basically we'll have classes and stuff with these different people. And since our children are a lot older now, because what was restricting me from traveling a lot was the fact that I made a promise to her that I'd be home every night when we got married. And so now that the children are older, we can go places and do things, and we can leave the kids behind because my parents are right across the street. My sister is right next door. I've got another 2 sisters on the next street over. We're all close by, and we can take care of each other. And so while parents are traveling, the kids can go and hang out with the cousins or the grandparents, and it's not that difficult. I don't have to worry about them. So Gina and I will be traveling a lot. We'll go to Balamban, but we're also planning to go to other places in the Philippines to visit these congregations, whatever they need, whether it's classes, whether it's help with the different projects they have going on, whatever it is. We'll try and figure out a way to help them out. And so that's the goal. But it all started with this guy right here. I don't know if you know. Anybody here know Ken Wilkie? Well, you know Ken Wilkie. That's because you see him a lot when we were there. In case you guys didn't know, Ronnie was in the Philippines with us for 2 years. So he worked over there for a while. Just ask him. He knows all this stuff. Yeah, if you have any questions about anything, ask. No, I'm kidding. But it all started with this man right here. My grandfather's been, like I said, he's been back and forth over and over, 2 months on, 2 months off usually, ever since the beginning. And it's been an interesting experience. We don't have any plans of stopping. Our plans are from before I ever got married to the future. I'm going to be over in the Philippines working and doing my best to help the people there. But the thing is, right outside these doors is a mission field. And it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You have people that you can influence. You have people around you that you can be neighborly to. And we'll talk about that in just a little while. So the Philippines is the mission field that I will be on, Lord willing, for the rest of my life. And I am very, very grateful that you guys have been a part of it. Does anybody have any questions about anything? I think we still have a little bit of time, maybe. It's 10:10. Sir? Mm-hmm. Oh, there's a bunch. Well, as you know, it's an island nation, and before they all kind of joined together as one country, they were all individual peoples, tribes, things like this, and all of them had their own languages that evolved differently from the rest. There was very little communication between the two because you had to go over water, and technology wasn't what it is today. So they had to row, and it wasn't very easy to get around. So all these different dialects evolved separately from each other because of the fact that it's an island nation. Now, there are some dialects that are used more than others. In fact, there's one particular one because Manila is the capital of the Philippines, Tagalog, which is kind of like the national language. Everybody speaks it, but more people speak English than Tagalog. So you go over there, you speak English, you'll be fine. for the most part. But yeah. Any other questions? Okay. This is the youth group. They wanted to kind of say something, so. Nope, it didn't work. It didn't play. Nope. It's a video. Can you see if there's a play button on there somewhere? See if that'll work. Because it was set to click and then play, but it didn't play. Down the bottom corner, nope. I'll let her do it. I'm not going to touch it. Should be, there it is. Hover, there it is. Right there. Oh, it didn't go all the way through. It's all right. Well, at the end of that song, they wanted to say thank you for all the help. These kids' lives have changed because of you guys and people like you who support the work that we have over there. We try our best to look out for people, to help when we can, and to just be good influences to the people around us. And because of folks like you, it makes it easier. It makes it easier for us to accomplish our goals. And so we appreciate you guys very much from the bottom of our hearts. I mean, there's no words that I can say to thank you guys very much for the support that you guys have provided for us over there in the Philippines. So, thank you very much. I'm pretty much. If you want any more information about the Bible Study Center and the things that we do, that website right there will take you to the website for the Bible Study Center, and you can see the kind of classes that we offer. We've had to shift to online classes because of COVID, and so we have a lot of students online. Like I said, Ethel was one of the members of the church who was reached because of the online classes. So anyway, thank you. All right, I think that's it. We appreciate you guys.
Good job. That's amazing information.